Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people have been very curious about is, of course, the official title of Episode 9 and exactly what that's going to be, of course, at Star Wars Celebration tomorrow on April 12th. Now, as of now, a lot of people are at Celebration on April 11th. There are no major announcements today. Everything really begins on Friday, April 12th, and moving forward on, the next couple of days is when we actually get to learn more about the new Star Wars live-action TV series, The Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, whatever have you. What's really interesting, though, that has been making the rounds on the internet is that apparently the Episode 9 title has leaked. Now, like I say, guys, take this with a grain of salt. It's very interesting, though, indeed, and honestly, guys, I will admit, I'm not a fan of the title. I really am not, and I really hope that it's something different. So I want to go over this. This all comes from Andrew Reiner. Apparently, there's a lot of talk over at Star Wars Celebration because that's taking place today. Apparently, a poster leaked or something like that where the title was actually embedded on that. So, like I say, once again, guys, take this with a grain of salt. Keep this in mind. This is a potential title reveal for Star Wars Episode 9. So, this is what Andrew Reiner had to say. He is the executive editor of Game Informer, co-author of Prime and Splice, and co-host of KFAN's Video Games Weekly, and host of the replay show, one half of the Rapture Twins. So, this is what Andrew had to say. Latest rumor from Star Wars Celebration, Episode 9 is supposedly called Will of the Force. Not a huge fan of that, but who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. Also, apparently, Fantha Tracks heard the same exact thing, and a lot of tweets have been deleted about this title reveal, so I'm not quite sure exactly what's really going on here, but apparently Star Wars Episode 9 is going to be called Will of the Force. Not will like the wills, but actually like will, like W-I-L-L. What's really interesting, though, to me about this is that this would not only seem a little off and repetitive, because this would also pretty much tell us that this new Star Wars trilogy is going to have the Force twice in each and every movie. You're going to have The Force Awakens and then Will of the Force. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I think that a title like The Last Jedi fits better, or maybe even like a title like Star Wars A New Order, something short like that, right? Something simple that gets to the point. A lot of people have been talking about this right now. There's a lot of things going on the internet about Will of the Force being, of course, the Star Wars Episode 9 title. Like I say, guys, take it with a grain of salt. This is really interesting indeed how some tweets were actually deleted over this, so that's the only reason as to why I'm starting to believe that maybe this is indeed the real deal. Now, if this is indeed the real title, which I'm honestly, guys, hoping that it's not, I think that when we look at the title of Episode 9, I think a lot of people are hoping it out to be something that is related to the actual story itself, something that has to do with one of the characters, or something around those lines, right? If you look at Return of the Jedi, right, it was all focused on Luke and Anakin, and if you look at, the Revenge of the Sith, it was all focused on Palpatine and Anakin becoming Darth Vader. If you look at The Last Jedi, that was all about Luke Skywalker. The titles I like a lot, but when it comes to Will of the Force, I'm not a fan of it. I will be honest with you guys. If you guys are a fan of this, let me know below in the comments. I will say, people have said that the poster apparently leaked over at Star Wars Celebration. Things are going around right now. A lot of people are talking about this as we speak. So, Episode 9 is supposedly called Will of the Force. Like I say, if you guys want to go ahead and check out that tweet below in the description, go ahead and check it out. Very interesting. We also heard that Heir to the Legacy was another one, apparently, so like I say, guys, take it with a grain of salt. We do know that the title, regardless, is going to be revealed tomorrow, and I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be something different, because I think that having the same exact word twice in a Star Wars trilogy just does not pair up with me. It just doesn't. It's kind of like, for example, if you had Return of the Jedi and The Last Jedi, in, of course, the original trilogy as titles. It just would not flow, right? So let me know what you guys have to say about this title itself. What do you think about Will of the Force? Honestly, guys, I think it just does not match up, being used as the final film of the sequel trilogy, and of course, being related to The Force Awakens and sounding way too similar. And, we do know that this movie really has a lot to offer. It's going to have a lot of prequel trilogy and, of course, original trilogy references and connections and a lot of revelations that will be revealed in this film in order to truly end the Skywalker saga in a proper way. So keep in mind that, when we do look at J.J. Abrams, we do know that he is trying his very best in order to make this movie most likely the best Star Wars film within the sequel trilogy. But if this is indeed the title, I will say that JJ could have came up with a better title, a far better title, if he chose the word Force twice, already again. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the title. That's just my opinion. If you guys like the title, let me know below in the description, or should I say the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.